situations. You're 5-0 since. Fox just talked about how him and DeMar specifically are getting a little bit more comfortable with defenses and when they send help and when they don't. In your mind, what have been the differences in how you guys have handled those clutch situations that's led to this success?
I mean, it's all the players, to be honest with you. More than anything, try to simplify it for them, put them in the best positions for them as decision makers to make decisions for themselves and for their teammates, and they've just done it at a really high level.
When it comes to simplifying things, you guys, a lot of the players have talked about simplifying things a lot, but could that swing the other way in the sense that like defenses could adjust to what you're doing as simplified, or do you just have the personnel to overcome that? Like, how do you view that?
I mean, adjustments are going to happen. So when the adjustments happen, you adjust to the adjustment. But at the same time, I think that when you pass early in a possession a lot just to pass, then you find yourself in butter clock situations that put pressure on the players. And I'm a little bit more of the mindset, get to your business, leaves you more time on the back end to, if some stuff happens, you can adjust at that point, as opposed to shooting the ball with 4 or 5 seconds on the clock. Now you got to live with the result. Hopefully you get offensive rebound, as opposed to, it didn't work. Now we still got 10 seconds to kind of manipulate the game a little bit. And those guys are really good in those instances, and that's really the simplification that I'm talking about.
What do you think this stretch is? And you talked about, playing the right way, playing hard. When you put it on film, what do you think that's done to the confidence of this team, showing what they're capable of?
It's a good question. I just think more than anything, whenever you have success, and success to me doesn't always mean winning. Success to me means that we continue to do it right through the barriers that are in front of us. And that's more what we're showing them, is like, we continue to do what we do. We'll run against teams that they win the game because they were better that night, but that doesn't change how we go about our business. And I think those small increments of success in the long haul, they equal a big piece of it.
You see them kind of believe in this, right? Like, you've been talking to them, they've talked about how simplifying everything and just getting back to basics, and once they string a few wins together, it feels like it just takes some pressure off.
Yes. Being a player, I understand that mentality, and I think many times that's what you want. You just want the ability to go out there and play free. So I give them structure. They still have structure, but inside that structure, I can't always tell you how it's going to go. They might red it, they might ice it, they might, blitz you. It's a lot of different things that can happen. Like, we want this to happen, but inside of that, these are our options to overcome anything that they throw at us. And we have players that, in my estimation, are A, talented enough, and be smart enough to be able to accomplish that, and that's to their credit.
Along those lines, just what's been most impressive to you? Because you obviously give them the messaging, and they have to, digest that somehow. Just what's been most impressive?
Probably the fact that they stayed the course, and that was part of my messaging. Like, listen, the end goal is to win, but it doesn't always happen that way. But the byproduct of doing it this way, in my estimation, with the talent that you guys possess, is winning. And sometimes when you're not feeling it, it's not going your way, you might want to, regress to what you did as opposed to staying true to what you're trying to do. And to their credit, they've been staying true to it.
A lot has been said about you, simplifying things, and obviously the record that you've had since taking over. I got to ask, how much fun are you having in this role?
I mean, we're playing and coaching basketball, and it's a game that you learn as a kid, and I just try to still bring the same joy for them to the game, and then to watch them have that joy is probably my happiest moment. It's like, that's what it's all about, you guys, and I think that that's what our fans feel, and I think that that's the product that you see on the floor.
You've worked with so many road games coming out before the All-Star break. Just how do you view these next couple of weeks for the importance of your season, and do you focus on that? Is that part of your messaging to the guys, or is it just sort of, one day at a time?
We talked about it a little bit today. I kind of view this as one long road trip starting tomorrow. and it's gonna, when we come back off the road, we got a day in the back-to-back, and then another day in another game before we go to New Orleans. So when you look at it that way, yeah. But at the same time, I'm a play-to-play, quarter-to-quarter, half-to-half, game-to-game, and that's the way that I'm going to keep them focused on, and that's the way the staff is going to focus on it. The PD players, coaches are going to focus on it. We just want to stay in the moment and live in the moment, and then at the end we can look back and see what's what.
You've worked with Sabonis a lot the last couple of years, and there's been so much talk about, hey, he's got to add the three-point shot to his game. Well, this year he's shooting with confidence, and he leads the league in three-point percentage. What do you think has been the difference for him?
I mean, he puts in the work, man. We put in a crazy amount of work in the summertime, like, double sessions, going to the gym in the evening to shoot, working in the morning, lifting, and to do all that work and then not have the confidence to pull the trigger is something that I really emphasize to him. Like, listen, man, you put in the work. Your teammates see that you put in the work. They trust the fact that you do this and you do it at a really high level. Trust yourself and let it fly. And I really think that's probably the only difference is he's trusting himself at an extremely high level. He'll miss some, he'll make more, but the trust is at a really high level for him. Let it go, and I think his teammates do. He makes great decisions. Sometimes he'll shoot it, sometimes he'll pump fake it, DHO it, put it on the deck, spray the basketball. All great decisions for his teammates and himself.
When it comes to Kevin, he's struggling a little bit. What's your message to him as the head coach right